Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm Powersymphonic or Viking Wizard or whichever you want to call me, and got a video for you, a very special video. As everybody knows, from you know what you can see in with the hat and the t-shirt and everything, we lost one of the greatest frontmen that ever lived, the greatest singers, and beyond gutted. Literally got home from work, my friend messaged me and I was like, yeah. So I had a quick look on, for some reason I went on Facebook and looked through news feed. I seen it and I thought, I didn't want to believe this. I thought, I do not want to believe it. And then I went and saw these official news sites and that was it. I bawled my eyes out. I'm still a bit emotional. Cried my eyes out. I haven't stopped crying. I've been on and off, literally. And anytime something has came up, a video of him or something, I've literally shed another tear. And let's just hope I don't. Let's just hope I don't shed one in this video. But I've got not my entire collection. I've got 90% of my collection right here to show you. The only ones that I haven't put in here, which are on my bookcases and all that sort of stuff, is the Ronnie James Dio era, like the Tony Martin, you know, like Headless Cross, Heaven and Hell, that sort of stuff, and you know the various other different incarnations of Black Sabbath. This one is just Black Sabbath, the Ozzy era, and then his solo career. And I've got a lot of stuff. I know there's some albums I am missing, some studio albums, but I have got virtually, I believe it is, I think I have got virtually the entire Ozzy catalogue on CD, plus a load of live rarities, and the Ozzy era of Sabbath. I've got, I believe it's most of it on CD and vinyl, but I have got a lot of stuff here to get through and show you. But yeah, born John Michael Osbourne, Aston, Birmingham, lived in Aston. Funny thing about that is my nan used to live in Aston and she lived in Lodge Road, so she lived I think it was, she said, like something like 4 or 5 doors up from Ozzy. Remembered him in a street dragging a boot along with some string or something. She told me a lot of stuff which I was couldn't believe it, and I was like, oh my god. And then obviously we watched I think it was God Bless Ozzy, the movie, and all the stuff in the movie. I was like, can't believe it. And she was like, yeah, she said, I love Ozzy, he was absolutely awesome, but if she was still around she would have shed a tear as well. Sadly she passed away numerous years ago, and she passed away with Parkinson's, which was, she had the same as Ozzy, and it's horrible and I don't wish that on anybody. It broke my heart. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Me and my brother is a fantastic singer, so me and my brother this weekend coming, we are taking a trip to Birmingham, so we both do have written a note and he's gonna write something on it, and a couple of friends have, because they can't make it, but we're gonna go to Birmingham and we're gonna put some flowers on his Black Sabbath bridge, just to remember the greatest frontman of all time. Absolutely incredible. And I'll probably say that how many times, but yeah, everybody's still distraught over it. If it wasn't for Sabbath, and it wasn't for Ozzy and Sabbath, as 99% of people have actually said, if it wasn't for Sabbath and Ozzy, we wouldn't have Metallica, we wouldn't have, none of these bands would exist. None of the power metal bands that I absolutely love, and none of these heavy metal bands would exist without Black Sabbath. If it wasn't for Sabbath, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward and Ozzy, if it wasn't for them, then the genre probably would never exist. So yeah, I'm going to start off with my Sabbath CDs, and I've got loads to show you. So they're not in order before anybody says anything, because I just took them off the bookcase. All my CDs I put in a bookcase in alphabetical order of bands, but then once I put them on there, they are not in order. So you get live mixed with like a studio and some stuff. I've just got to fiddle around with them and slowly go through them, which I'm going to go through them A to Z, one at a time, over so many days, and I just so many artists at a time, and I just put them in alphabetical. And then because they're in alphabetical, I just put the albums in releases. But then somebody said, what about say the album's released in 1982 and then I've got a 2025 edition where you get like remastered, remixed and all that sort of stuff. I said, honestly, it's not going in 2025. It will go in the album when it first came out that year. That's just a redone of that classic album or remaster or something. So it's going with that, which I think it sees fit. But yeah, first one we have is Black Sabbath 13. Actually quite like this album. I thought it was good. I wish they would have actually played some more of the stuff live, but produced by Rick Rubin. Then we have Master of Reality. Yes, this did actually cost me £2 for £5, and I have not pulled the sticker off purely because I'm probably going to, you know, damage the finish. So it's left on there. I've just got to get the right stuff. I'm not sure what you need, but I'm going to have to do more research about that because I forgot about it and get that sticker off. But obviously Sweet Leaf, After Forever, Children of the Grave, MBO, Into the Void, some classic Sabbath on there. Then we have Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I was actually on a car boot in Rill the one day and they were actually selling these at £2 a CD, and there was quite a few Sabbath, and these are the, oh, that's actually stuck together. Oh, luckily didn't pull some of the finish off, but as you can see, it's the vinyl versions, and that was many years ago. I believe that was like 10 or so years ago, and he wanted £2 an album, and I said I'll grab the lot. So I had all of the Sabbath that was available. So I got Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Then I had Never Say Die, which actually features my favourite Black Sabbath track of all time, and it's actually on this album. I know some people will like hang about your favourite Sabbath song, but as you can see, they're let me get up and close. They're the vinyl versions, so you know you get like the vinyl on CD, vinyl picture. But yeah, my favourite track is on here, and it's track 2, which most people are shocked when I say my favourite track isn't Paranoid, Black Sabbath, Iron Man, all that sort of stuff. It's actually a track called Johnny Blade, which I can't believe it. Metallica actually did a cover at the Back to Beginning, which was awesome. Never went to that show purely because the only reason I didn't go to that show because it sold out. My brother spent countless days trying to get tickets, just couldn't get a ticket. Gutted, but hey ho. I've seen Ozzy once, so I've seen him way back in 2008, I believe it was. It was a Black Rain tour, and it was the Birmingham. I believe it was called the NIA back then, but in Ozzy fashion, during the live set, he flashed his arse. Absolutely awesome. My brother was trying to take a photo of it. He said, oh, let's try and get a photo, and he quickly tried to get one, but obviously he pulled his jeans back up by then. But Black Labour Society were backing. Funny story about Black Labour Society, there's a lot of people in the crowd, and a few people thought it was a drinks convention or something like that, and I said no, they're an actual band, absolutely fantastic band. I've got 99% of their catalogue, I believe, and missing one studio album. I can tell Zach Ward is probably distraught at the moment. But then we have their iconic album, Paranoid, absolutely awesome album. Too many good songs off this album, but War Pigs, the amount of times that I've said to people, I think we should go down 10 Downing Street and we should actually blast this out, War Pigs, you know, to say what we think of the government. Then we have their debut, Black Sabbath, another cracking album, which is awesome. So yeah, I was just happy to get these, and when I seen them, I grabbed every one of them. I said to him, have you got any more? And he said, I did have some more of the Sabbath, but it sold out with a load. I was like, they went quickly, which I thought, I'm surprised the guy didn't grab all of these very quickly. But at the time, there wasn't a thing of buying CDs and, you know, people literally paying £2 and then flipping them on eBay for like 60 quid or something like that, which I literally went on eBay and had a look, typed in Ozzy and Sabbath. Yeah, people are already cashing in, which made me sick to the teeth that they want to cash in, and he's only just literally snuffed it. So then we have Greatest Hits, Black Sabbath, another one of the best ofs. This one is Inside Black Sabbath, a critical review. It's just one of them talking books, which it came up really cheap. I think it was like £1 or £2, and I thought I'll have that. I've got a few. I've got one on DVD where he mentions about Ozzy's career, but the guy don't really know what he's talking about, because he refers to every album as Blizzard of Oz, the band, which was like, it's actually Ozzy Osbourne. Then we have The End, which was dubbed their final show, which wasn't, because obviously they did that back to the beginning. Absolutely fantastic gig. Black Sabbath, Steel City Blues, Pittsburgh, broadcast 1978. So this is a very early live recording. Then we have a 6 CD, the Black Sabbath box. So you get a bunch of live from various years, which is awesome. Like 1989, that's the Deer era. So 1979, 1980, 83, 1990. Oh, of course, you get Headless Cross and that sort of stuff. So different eras of Black Sabbath, which is awesome. Then there is Syracuse 1976, the New York State broadcast. So it's another one of the broadcasts, which is an awesome set. I do love listening to these purely because you get some stuff like All Moving Parts, Stand Still, Dirty Woman, tracks that they haven't played in many years, and you get to hear them. Black Sabbath, Montreux 1970, plus the Lost BBC Sessions, which is another live Sabbath. I do love collecting these. Transmission Impossible, Black Sabbath legendary radio broadcast from the 70s, 3 CD set. Another live one, which is awesome. Then this one, which is my recent pickup, which I've had a couple of months, and this is the Broadcast Collection 1970 to 75 5 CD, which, look at that artwork, absolutely fantastic. Then you get a load of live stuff. I picked it up for my brother because he wanted to get him something for Christmas just gone, and I was like, I need to get him something, so I got him this Black Sabbath. And then a couple of days later, after looking at the artwork and all that sort of stuff, and I found it online and listened to some of it on I think it was YouTube. I listened to some stuff and I thought, I'm definitely getting that, so I ordered a copy for myself. Cost like 15, which was worth every penny. Then we have Black Sabbath Europe 1970 live and sessions. So that's some of the early live Sabbath. So John Pill's Sunday Show, and then you have the Beat Club in Germany and the Olympia Theatre 1970, which is cool. That's cool that they opened with Paranoid, because I know earlier tours they opened with Paranoid, and the later ones it was the closing song. Then we have the Collector Series, which I need to change the case because this was a couple of quid off eBay, and it's the Sabbath collection, which is, I believe it's just because they're missing a couple of songs on here. They're missing Iron Man, they're missing War Pigs, yes, and a few others. But as you can see, it's just a generic best of, but I still picked it up purely because it went in my collection. And it's a Castle Recordings. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about Castle Recordings, they've released a load of dodgy best of. So there's about several Motorhead that has been released, and they just cobble together songs that they've got the rights to, and they just cobble together a load of them, and then they just make a generic best of, which I don't know why they did that, but I've got some Priest, got that Sabbath, and I got Motorhead and stuff like that. So I'm going to move on to the Sabbath vinyl. I haven't got as many that I have on CD, but I've got quite a few. So I've got the debut Sabbath album. I'm not sure what pressings these are, but I do have them on Discogs. So I've got my all catalogues on Discogs. So when I get, or should I say after I've done this video, I'll post in the comment link, and I'll post a link to my Discogs. So if you want to check out and you want to find out which pressings these are and that sort of stuff. Then we have California Jam on Ontario Speedway 1974 purple vinyl. So it's another one of them airways, which is awesome. There's some good stuff on this, which is cool. That is a well cool set list. Then we have Black Sabbath Live at Last. That is awesome. It's another live recording. Then we have Volume 4. Just realised, I believe it's Volume 4 I don't have on CD, but I've got them all spread over various stuff. So Changes is a ballad, absolutely fantastic ballad. Now, an artist called Youngblood covered it at Back to the Beginning, and it was absolutely a brilliant tribute, and proud of him. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Master of Reality, another greatest hits. I'm not sure if this is official or a random generic one, but I found this one at work and it's in great condition, but it's got all the tracks on the favourite ones, all that sort of stuff, which is cool. Then obviously Paranoid on vinyl, and then there is Sabotage on vinyl. I do want to collect the rest of Sabbath on vinyl, but I know from looking on eBay, I might as well wait a while now because everything's shot up and the amount of people that are trying to sell vinyl for stupid money to cash in. That's the only thing I dislike about that, which is annoying. So yeah, now moving on to my Ozzy collection. I've got quite a few. I have got some more Ozzy stuff, but I haven't got everything here. I've got poster flags. I've got some couple of Ozzy t-shirts I've actually got, which I was trying to find for when I do this video, but I couldn't find it. More than likely it's probably in the wash, but I've got a Randy Rhoads t-shirt with a picture of Randy Rhoads with his playing his Flying V from a live shot, and I remember my brother got me that for one Christmas and I nearly wept, and I was like, Randy Rhoads. So now Ozzy is up there at peace with Randy Rhoads. But this one has never been opened, and it's from spawn.com, and it's the Ozzy Osbourne figure. So this was awesome. I remembered seeing this in Forbidden Planet, I believe it was, and it was like 5-10 quid, and I thought, you know what, definitely having that and grabbing that one and adding that to my collection, and it's still been sealed. And then this one has been sealed still, and this cost me a couple of quid because for some reason I was getting rid of a load of stuff. And this one is the Bark at the Moon figure. So as you can see, absolutely awesome. I do have a canvas print up there on the wall, and I don't know if you can use words like that on YouTube without getting banned or anything like that, but it's got his signature. When I first went into a shop in London, there was a canvas print, and on it, it's got like a red triangle, and in white writing, it just says "Wank for Peace." And I was literally laughing my head off, thinking, oh my God, that's awesome. Me and my brother was laughing our head off. And then we looked under, and it says Ozzy Osbourne. The minute it said Ozzy, I was like, oh my God. And I think it was like a couple of quid. So at the time, no funds. And I said to my mother, because I was with her, would you mind getting me that? And I says, would you get me that? Please, please, please. And begged her, and she was like, okay. And because it was Ozzy, and that was it. I added that to my collection, and I've still got it on the wall. Couple of these figures I actually traded off a friend. So this one is a money box of the man himself, Ozzy. Then I have another figure, and this one and he speaks. I do have a pen where the end of the pen is Ozzy, and the pen is up his backside, which is still funny. Then this figure, a friend gave it me ages ago, and it's a bit of a clean, but a bit dusty. I'm just trying to figure out with all this dust. I keep using air purifiers and stuff, but it seems to get dusty. It does not work because, no, it needs a new battery. Yes, I think the battery's died, but let me put this on the stand and I'll show you. This is from the Osbournes. I know I've got up there on the shelf, which I forgot to bring it down. It's a water bottle that he's holding, which was awesome, but that one's from the Osbournes. I've still got them all on DVD, but quite a few people are like, I love Ozzy and the Osbournes, and I'm like, what about his solo stuff and his music career? And I'm like, don't really care, which was like, oh well, you're not really a fan, you're not really a fan. But I noticed a load of stuff come up today, and a load of famous people that I never knew were Ozzy fans have came out the the woodworks, and the amount of ones that have come out saying I'm a massive fan, love Ozzy and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, oh, I never even knew there were Sabbath or Ozzy fans. Did not have a clue, which I thought, it's cool. Then we have the Prince of Darkness box set. This cost me 20 quid back in 2001 or 2 or something like that, which has got like a lot of stuff in here, and I actually cannot remember what's on this. So I'm going to actually see if I can find it. So you get the greatest hits of Ozzy, which is spread over one CD, or should I say one, and yeah. So you get the 2 CDs are like a best of with all his favourite songs, certain songs live, and then you get demos and some previously unreleased stuff, and then disc 3 is all covers and all that sort of stuff, and then the last one is another one full of his covers, like In My Life and all that sort of stuff, which is, well, awesome. So I'll show you my Ozzy CDs. There's Man Cometh, Blizzard of Oz, that actually cost me a £5, and this one has actually got the extra tracks. You Looking at Me, Looking at You, which was the extra track on this edition. Then we have Just Say Ozzy, Ozzy Live at Budokan. I gave away one CD ages ago, a version of Budokan, which I wished I hadn't of, and that was where all the writing says Live at Budokan, it was red and all that, and the back it was all in red, and I actually gave it away, which was stupid of me. Undercover Ozzy, and this features a DVD where you get like Dinner with Ozzy and Friends. So in the Dinner with Ozzy, it's Ozzy, a couple of I believe, I don't know if they're executives or something like that from certain record labels, and then you get his son Jack and then Lemmy, which makes an appearance, which is cool. But yeah, Changes with Kelly Osbourne, and then it's just all the covers. In My Life, Rocky Mountain Way, is that one on here with Miss Piggy? Doesn't seem to be on here, which was, it's, I know it's on his Prince of Darkness box set. Ozzy Osbourne In the Beginning, so this features 4 gigs, so you get 1996 from the Osmosis tour, 1984, which is I know 1983 was Bark at the Moon, so 1983, so this was continuing with the Bark at the Moon tour. And then CD2, yeah, is the follow-on from the CD1, and CD4 is 1981. So I can't remember, is this the Blizzard Flying High again? So it's the Diary of a, is it Diary of 1981, 1982 was it? Diary of a Madman. So it's a 1981, so I believe he previews the stuff from that album. Then the Broadcast San Diego 1995, so this one's, as you can see, I don't want to change the world, I just want you. So yeah, that's the Osmosis tour, which is a cool live CD to get in your collection. Then we have Ordinary Man, No Rest for the Wicked. This is a masterpiece. A guy was selling it the one time in a record shop, and he was selling a poster of this, and I didn't buy it, which I was absolutely gutted. But this has got one of the best Ozzy songs ever written by the one and only Mr. Zakk Wylde. I believe he wrote the album, but he features on it, an absolute genius with this song. It's called Devil's Daughter, Holy War. It's fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Me and my brother fucking love that song. Then we have Scream, and this one's the extra disc where you get like Bark of the Moon, Let Me Hear You Scream, No More Tears, and Fairies Wear Boots Alive, and then some unreleased tracks, which is cool. Black Rain, which was the tour I actually went to. Osmosis. The Essential Ozzy Osbourne. Changes, Kelly Osbourne and Ozzy. I do love this version. Then we have the anniversary of Diary of a Madman, and this features a 4 gig. I believe the gig was I'm trying to think, was it King Biscuit's Flower Hour or something like that? So you get a full live on there, which is awesome. Gets Me Through / Dreamer mini DVD, cost me £3, as you can see with the sticker. I never took it off, I've just got to try and get that one off. Then we have Live and Loud, free special booklet and tattoo, double CD, which this is awesome. Now, I've literally just missed a couple of these because I do have Live and Loud on cassette, and I've got Blizzard of Oz, I've got Bark at the Moon, I've got No Rest for the Wicked, I've got No More Tears, I've got Seven on cassette. I've literally just forgotten, they're all over there in my cassette pile, so I do have loads of cassettes, so we're going to go through the rest of the CDs. And now this is the other version of Ozzy Osbourne. Changes, No More Tears. Mama and Coming Home is a masterpiece. When I heard him play that and I watched him play it at the Back to Beginning, I flooded with tears because, oh. But standout track off this album, It's probably not one of his biggest hits off this album, and it's Hellraiser. Absolutely incredible song. Speak of the Devil. I think this is the one, yep, this is the one where they just do Sabbath covers. Down to Earth, his last studio album, Patient Number 9. Randy Rhoads Tribute, probably one of my all-time favourite live CDs. Bark of the Moon. Oh, this album is my favourite Ozzy, and this is a masterpiece from start to finish. You've got Rock and Roll Rebel, you've got my probably, I don't know if it's either Devil's Daughter, Holy War, Rock and Roll Rebel, or Centre of Eternity, which is my favourite Ozzy. The Ultimate Sin. Then we have Memoirs of a Madman, which is another one of his best ofs, and this one's Kansas City 1986, a classic Missouri broadcast. So 1986 would be from the Ultimate Sin tour. So yeah, he actually does play the Ultimate Sin. And does he actually play it on here? Or I know he plays the Ultimate Sin. I was wondering if he played Shot in the Dark. But I actually can't see it on here. But yeah, so that's the Ozzy audio CDs. Now I'm going to show you the vinyl. I do have, oh my god, they're heavy. I do have a stack of vinyl here of Ozzy. So I'm going to start off with the reissue remastered Blizzard of Oz. So I believe this one's red vinyl. This is already on my YouTube channel because it's a recent pickup. So it was available for pre-order, and I thought I'm definitely getting that because this album's a hell of an album. Especially Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, and that D, which is Randy Rhoads, is just chef's kiss. Then we have, I think it's an original pressing. This cost me £2, but I've got to try and get the sticker off without ruining it, and believe this is a very early pressing of Sabbath, should I say Ozzy. Then we have the reissue of No More Tears on vinyl. This is a standard vinyl. I know you can get it as a picture disc and various others. I believe this was the standard, or was it a coloured vinyl? I'll have to check my Discogs to remember that. Talk of the Devil, that was a work find. Absolutely awesome to get that in my collection. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Rain. I'm still in awe that I've actually got to see him on this tour, which was awesome. Then we have Night Terrors, live in Montreal, 1981. So it's an early live gig from Ozzy. Bark of the Moon on vinyl. Absolutely incredible. Still going to say it's Ozzy's best album. Double album set. This was a gift off my brother for one Christmas, or was it a birthday? And this is Randy Rhoads Tribute. Diary of a Madman. Ooh, actually I forgot about that. So, Bark of the Moon, I got it twice. I couldn't remember. That's an original pressing. Is this a new, was this a new coloured remastered or something like that? I actually can't remember, so I'm going to have to check that in Discogs. If it was the blue or something mild or something like that, but that's cool. The Ultimate Sin, and I've just realised I've got some on 7-inch. So I've got a bunch of Ozzy on 7-inch, like My Mum Coming Home, and all that sort of cool stuff. Just Say Ozzy, which is an awesome one. So you get Miracle Man, Bloodbath in Paradise, Shot in the Dark, Tattoo Dancer, Sweet Leaf, War Pigs, which is one of his EPs. Then there is Shot in the Dark single. And then the last one was Ozzy Osbourne, Motorhead, Hellraiser. This came up for pre-order on Amazon. I think it was like 3-4 years ago, and I thought I'm definitely, when was this one? 2023, so not long ago. And I pre-ordered that like a shot, because side A is a Hellraiser mashup. Side B, you got the Hellraiser Ozzy version and the Hellraiser Motorhead version. So yeah, this has been my Ozzy Osbourne collection. Hell of a lot of stuff to show you. I'm so happy to actually show you what I've got in my collection. I'm still absolutely gutted, and I'm surprised I haven't shed a tear. I feel like I should, but I'm trying to hold back the tears because I'm a massive Ozzy fan, and it's a big loss to the metal community, because as I've said to everybody, if it wasn't for Ozzy, 99.9% of these bands would not exist. So I do hope you enjoyed my tribute to Ozzy, and I will catch you in the next video. If you are new to this channel, if you would like to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that sort of cool stuff, because it's many unboxing videos I do, and I've got a shed load of new stuff to unbox and show you. But unboxing videos, I show off my tattoos, and there's my Ozzy Osbourne tattoo. I've had a few comments off a few people saying it's spelt wrong. It's O-S for Osbourne, not Oz, O-Z. And I said if you actually look at his artwork, which, let me get one of his albums out, say Bark of the Moon. If you actually look, it says Ozzy Osbourne. I know his name is with an S, but on the artwork it was Oz. But a few people moaned, and I put them straight and said check the artwork out and you'll understand why it's that, and it's based off the artwork. But yeah, tattoos, gig reviews, talk about the bands, a little show off my collection, all of that sort of awesome stuff. Now I'm going to actually go and play Ozzy again, so I'm going to go and listen to Bark of the Moon again and probably weep into my pillow or something, because I've actually got a teddy in my bedroom which is about, I think it's like that high, and it's from the Osbournes, and it's a teddy of Ozzy. And yes, I do have that on my bed with me, and when I go to bed Ozzy is there, and because he's a legend, and I'm still going to every day miss him. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. So Powersymphonic signing off. Have yourself a good one, and see you later.